Hey guys, in this video we're going to dive deep into arithmetic operations in Java, everything from addition and subtraction to multiplication, division, and even the order in which operations are performed. We'll break it all down with simple examples so you can follow along easily and build a strong foundation for writing your own expressions. Let's get started. Okay guys, so I want you to open IntelliJ, create a new project, and create a new Java class inside source. I also created the main method. Now let's write some code. Let's just start with int a is equal to 2. So we initialized a variable called a of type int and we gave it a value of 2. Now let's say that we want to update this variable so that the value inside it is twice the initial value it has. So we can just do this by writing a is equal to a times 2. This is us reassigning the value. Let's just run this. Okay, so we can clearly see that it got updated. Now, there's a shortcut to write this. Instead of writing a equals to a times 2, we can just do this. A times equal to 2. This is just a simpler expression, but it will result in the same thing. Here it is. Now let's go ahead and try to divide instead. So if we go ahead and want to divide by 2, we can just write a equals to a / 2. So this is the division symbol here. Let's just run this. Okay, so the value is 1. Now I want to show you something. Let's say that initially the value of a was 3. Let's try to run this. So it prints 1 again because when we are using the int, long, short, byte types which hold integers and we try to divide, this is an integer division, okay? So this is why we get 1. We do not get 1.5. Let's say that this was a double instead. Double holds floating point numbers. So if we run this, we get a 1.5. So if you want a division that will result in an accurate value, even floating point numbers, you have to initially declare the variable type as a floating point type, okay? So now that we've seen the multiplication and division, I want to show you guys the addition. So let's just change this back to int. And I want you to go ahead and increment this by 1. Run this. So here it is. So there is a shortcut for writing a is equal to a plus 1. You can write a plus plus, or you can write plus plus a. If you run this again, here it is. Now what is the difference between plus plus a and a plus plus? Because they both do increment the a, but there's a slight difference between them. This is why I want you guys to initialize a variable b of type int, and I want you to assign it the value of plus plus a. And I want you to introduce a new variable c of type int and assign it the value of a plus plus. And then I want you to add 2 additional print statements. Make sure they're print lines so that the values aren't concatenated. Okay, so now we have 3 print statements, one for a, one for b, and one for c. So I want us now to observe the result when we run this in order to understand the difference between plus plus a and a plus plus. Okay, so we have a is equal to 5, b is equal to 4, and c is equal to 4. Why did this happen? Okay, so first of all, it makes sense for a to be 5 because we did increment a 2 times and it was initially 3. This makes sense too because we incremented a and we assigned the incremented value of a to b. The one that's a bit confusing is this one. Why is int c equal to a plus plus 4 not 5 when we did increment a one more time? This is because when we write plus plus a in here, let's just write a comment. You can write a comment by clicking on the / 2 times, okay? So basically, when we write int b is equal to plus plus a, this means that we want to increment a first. So it's as if we're writing a is equal to a plus 1. And then we are assigning the incremented value of a to b, okay? So this is exactly what this line means. And this is the order it's executed. But in the case where we have int c is equal to a++, we're doing this. We're assigning the value of a to c, and then we're incrementing the a. So the order of execution differs if you're using plus plus a or a plus plus. When we use plus plus a, we increment first and then we assign. When we use a plus plus, we assign first and then we increment. Now that we've seen the addition, let's just talk about the subtraction. So we have here int a is equal to 3. We can have a is equal to a minus 1. We can have a minus minus, and we can have minus minus a. And the difference between the minus minus a and the a minus minus is the same as the a plus plus and the plus plus a. Okay, so let's just system.out.println. Okay, let's run this. Okay, so this is 0 because we decremented 3 times. Okay, so one last thing, I want to mention the modulus operator. So let's just remove this. And I want you guys to just declare a new variable of type int, call it remainder, and its value will be a, the percent sign, 2. So what is this percentage operator? What is this modulus operator? It's exactly the name of this variable. So we can use the modulus operator to get the remainder from a division, okay? So if we have 3 divided by 2, we saw that the answer in this case is 1 because of the integer division. So let's go ahead and run this. The remainder in this case is 1. And here it is. This is because if we have 3 divided by 2, this is equal to 1. So 1 times 2, here we just do 3 minus 1 times 2, which is equal to 1 in this case, right? So before ending this video, I wanted to discuss with you guys the order that the operations get executed in. So Java follows the BIDMAS. We've all learned this in math, but so basically the highest precedence is for brackets and then the indices. In Java, division and multiplication and modulus, they have the same precedence. Addition and subtraction have the same precedence as well, and they are both the least important. Let's take a look at this expression. So our expression has a division, a multiplication, and a modulus. So these 3, they have the same precedence. So which gets executed first? Java evaluates the expressions from left to right. So in this case, the division would occur first, so 5 over 2. And this would give us a 2. And then this 2, which is the result of this part, gets multiplied by 3 to give 6. And then this 6 is taken to calculate 6 modulus 2, and the result is 0, because 6 is divisible by 2. So we should be expecting a 0 when we run this. Okay, so here it is. Now I want you to change this to 5 minus 4 times 2, modulus 3 plus 1. So what should be the result in this case? So there is a subtraction, a multiplication, a modulus, and a plus. So we said that the multiplication and the modulus, they have the highest precedence. They have higher precedence than the addition and subtraction. So in this case, the 4 times 2 would evaluate first to 8. And then this means that we have something like this now. We have 5 minus 8 modulus 3 plus 1. So in this case, the modulus occurs first. So 8 modulus 3. This evaluates to 2. And then, so now we have the expression like this, 5 minus 2 plus 1. And the addition and subtraction, we said that we don't really care. They get executed from left to right since both have the same precedence. So in this case, we have int a is equal to 5 minus 2, which is 3, plus 1. At the end, we have int a is equal to 4. So the result should be 4. So let's go ahead and run this. Here it is.
Alright guys, that wraps up our intro to arithmetic operations in Java. In the next quick video, we'll take this a step further and look at what happens when you mix different data types in the same expression, like combining an int with a double for instance. See you there!